The birds and the bees, a conversation that every parent dreads. Well, hopefully this short video can help you with an often difficult conversation. This video is not just for parents, but for anyone who's involved in the healthy development of a preteen. You might be a grandparent, aunt, uncle, older cousin, teacher, or even a mentor. With all of the images in the media, outrageous news stories, and high rates of STDs and teenage pregnancy, it is clear that concerned and responsible adults must be involved in guiding young people into making informed and conscious decisions. Now, I know you might be wondering, what is a tween? A tween is a young person between the ages of 11 and 13 who is in the process of transitioning into their teenage years. Now, many people say that preteens are too young to learn about sex and reproduction. However, it's very important for young people to have correct information and guidance before they become teenagers and young adults. Also, sexual education involves a wide variety of topics before you even get into actual sexual acts. Before you even talk to your tween, it's first important to talk to them in general. Listen to them carefully. Consider the types of things they think about, their interests, in order to gauge their maturity level, because regardless of their maturity level, you can help to guide them. It is also extremely important for you, yourself as the adult, to do your homework. Get informed and make sure you have your facts straight. You'll be surprised at the rumors and misconceptions that even adults accept as truth. Also, your tween may know more than you think they do, so be prepared to be surprised. Now, this concept is very important. I can't emphasize it enough. It is very important for adults to understand the talk, the birds and the bees, or whatever you want to call it, is not just one talk. It's a series of talks over a period of time. So many parents think that they just have to give the talk and then they're done. But sexual and reproductive education is far too complex for just one conversation. A very appropriate topic for tweens to talk about are gender roles. Now, many of you might be wondering, what is the difference between sex and gender, and why would I need to explain it to my tween? Well, sex is the biological differences that make one male or female. It's our chromosomes and the differences in our genitalia. While gender is the differences that we allow to consider a person a man or a woman. A good example of a gender norm is that girls can usually be identified by long hair, and boys are usually associated with short hair. Because of what we consider normal or abnormal, these can present challenges for people in society and in our relationships with each other. Another part of sexual and reproductive health is forming healthy relationships. This type of guidance can go a very long way. The lessons that preteens learn now, in terms of forming healthy relationships with friends, have the potential to help them with romantic relationships in the future. A pretty obvious and very useful conversation piece for preteens would be puberty. This is something that preteens will encounter directly and do not involve the act of sex, but does help them to better understand their own bodies and the bodies of the opposite sex. For some adults, the topic of sexual identity might be sensitive due to religious beliefs or family tradition. However, at some point, if not already, your child will be exposed to the concept of hetero and homosexuality. It is very important to address what this means in general and what it means to you. It is also important to explain the types of discrimination and unfair treatment that some people will face based on the sexual identity, in order to help your preteen become more sensitive to these issues. While the human body is extremely complex and might be a lot for a tween to handle, it is also very important that they understand the basic of the ways in which their bodies work in terms of reproductive organs. This is particularly important for female preteens because, unlike male preteens, they cannot see their reproductive organs. Another extremely important topic to cover with preteens is the consequences of sexual activity. Some of the negative effects are STDs like herpes, HPV, the most common STD in the United States, and pregnancy. While the physical consequences of pregnancy are pretty obvious, many teens and adults underestimate the emotional and life changes associated with pregnancy, regardless if it results in a birth. Also, it's very important not to ignore the positive consequences, such as pleasure and social acceptance. As you get deeper into the conversation with your preteen, it is important to discuss how they will protect themselves in what seems like a very scary world. It is important to explain that abstinence is the only way to be 100% sure that you will not contract an STD or become pregnant, because with that, it is very important to understand the difficulties that come along with abstinence, especially as they get older. And while it's definitely not impossible, there may come a time when they're older and they want to have sex. And when that happens, there are many tools they can use to protect themselves. These are just a few of the more effective methods. However, only one of these methods, other than abstinence, can help to protect against STDs, HIV, and pregnancy, and that is the condom. The other methods include the pill, the ring, the patch, the shot, and the IUD. These only protect against pregnancy, and this is why having both yourself and your partner tested is extremely important. Now, approaching your tween may seem kind of awkward, but it doesn't have to be. Mentors need to take advantage of teachable moments. There may come a time when your preteen is exposed to music with suggestive lyrics or film that may have suggestive scenes, and it's at this moment that we can intervene and use this as an opportunity to talk to our preteens about sexual and reproductive health. Another excellent way to approach your teen is through probing. Simply asking a few questions to get to know the things that they may know. This will allow you to give information and to help correct wrong information. You can pose simple questions like, do you like anyone? Are you interested in anyone? What are the other kids at school talking about? This will help you to get to know your preteen and also give you the opportunity to discuss issues of sexual and reproductive health. Now, it's very important for preteens to have a mentor, someone that they can talk to about such situations, to give advice, and to get information from. It's very important to identify this person, even if this person is not you, so that preteens will have someone to talk to about issues that they may encounter and face. Now, I know that this might be difficult and may not be something that you want to do, but it's important. And you know what? You can do it. Our preteens deserve it. They deserve to have all the information to equip them to make the best decisions possible for their future. So thank you so much for viewing this video, and please feel free to check out the resources, including my blog and the social networking site through Ning. Thank you so much once again for watching this video, and have a great talk with your preteen.